Hi, my name is Tessa with Connecticut Sea Grant and Yukon Extension. Today we're visiting Bigelow Brook Farms, where they grow vegetables in an aquaponics system with fish. Let's take a dive in and see just how they do this.
Hi, I'm Rob Torcellini from Bigelow Brook Farm, and we have an aquaponics greenhouse, which is a combination of aquaculture with growing fish and hydroponics of growing plants. It's a symbiotic relationship between the plants and the fish, where the plants are helping to clean the water by removing the nitrates from the water. That clean water goes back to the fish, and they are excreting ammonia, which then gets broken down to nitrates, which then end up in with the plants again. So it's a great recirculating system and a great way of growing fish and plants within the same system. So our main growing bed is classified as a deep water culture bed, and it's essentially a 8 by 98 foot bed filled with water, and the plants sit on a raft on top of that water, and the roots hang down into the water, and that's how they absorb all their nutrients. It makes it quite easy not having soil in the system, one, because it makes it easy to harvest the plants and just remove them without disturbing the other plants around them. And also, we don't get any weeds growing in there because they are concentrated into one small hole in the raft. We grow many different varieties in the deep water culture, which would include the tomatoes, the cucumbers, basil. They do really well in those setups. And we also have media beds, which are used as the biofiltration with the system, which is used to break the ammonia from the fish into the nitrates. And those beds also contain water. They're a flood and drain system, so the water levels are always going up and down in those beds. Some plants do like that better, like the chard and the oregano. They seem to do better in the beds that don't need as much water in them. So between those two styles of beds, the system works really well to host a variety of different styles of plants. So our koi, we keep them from season to season. We do sell some of them to ornamental pond owners. Their primary purpose, however, is to produce the nutrients for the plants. So we'll raise koi from small fry up to the current size. Some of them are 18 to 20 inches long. We also have a few goldfish that we've adopted over the years, and they cohabitate with the koi without any problem. So the system has a filtration setup where the solids are removed from the main koi tank, and the water in those koi tanks slowly spin around and circulate and accumulate the solids at the bottom center of the main tank. From there, there's a pipe that sucks the solids off the bottom of that tank, and it goes into a secondary filtration system. The first one is a radial flow settler, and the solids go into that, settle down at the bottom, and then the cleaner water comes out through the top of that tank and then into the grow beds. The second tank takes the solid waste that comes out of the bottom of the radial flow settler and circulates that solid fish waste for a while, helps to aerate it and breaks it down a little bit further to release more of the nutrients out of the solids. And then the waste matter that comes out of that simply gets dumped into a 5-gallon bucket and spreads out into our field as additional nutrients in the fields. In our media beds, as part of the filtration process, we have red wiggler composting worms, and they are used to help break down any solids that may have made their way through the filtration system and to break down any organic material like the roots in our media beds. Currently, the greenhouse, we are selling produce in our farm stand over the weekend. It's a small honor system, and we produce just enough to support that. So even though it's set up as a commercial system, it's not a fully functioning commercial system. There's still room to expand, and someday this will become a full commercial greenhouse.
We hope you enjoyed that segment. Thanks for joining us, and tune in for our next video.